That's right. The summit is expected to bring in $53 million, filling hotel rooms, bringing big business. And the city did tidy up for Dreamforce, but this cleanup is much more extensive. While San Francisco is in the spotlight for the Asia Pacific Economic Conference, city leaders are making sure the city shines.
Tourism is our business here in San Francisco, and we need to focus on making sure that the tourist dollars still come back.
Caltrans repaving major roadways like the Harrison Street off-ramp from the I-80. BART doubling down by deep cleaning their stations overnight more often.
The city had gotten a little bit dingy over time.
Scrubbing and power washing is happening all over the city.
Yeah, the bottom of my shoes look clean.
It's noticeable how clear the streets look and how few homeless encampments there are on major thoroughfares.
Having been a longtime resident in the Bay Area, you just naturally start to wonder of houseless folks being displaced.
Public Works is installing decorative crosswalks in North Beach and Chinatown, and the Webster Street pedestrian bridge in Japantown was recently repainted. The Yerba Buena Gardens at the Moscone Center are decked out with new colorful landscaping and murals, paid for by the Clean California grant, just in time for the 20,000 high-profile CEOs and heads of state coming into town next week. Some people say this should be how it's always done.
What about the people who are here year-round, and local, hardworking, working-class Bay Area folks?
Others welcome the cleanup.
Anything that brings in a positive look on the city of San Francisco is great.
We will continue to do everything we can to maintain cleanliness in our streets.
Is going to be front and center on the world stage. The Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation Summit, or APEC, will draw global leaders from 21 member economies. It's San Francisco's biggest international event in decades. ABC 7 News reporter Suzanne Fawn has a look at whether the city is ready.
Top political and business leaders from around the globe are expected to attend APEC. They'll be staying at our local hotels and dining at our local restaurants. San Francisco, get ready to wow world leaders from 21 Pacific Rim regions. Restaurants are looking forward to the influx of visitors in mid-November. City leaders say San Francisco is the right place for APEC, the Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation Summit.
Are we ready? Yes, I think we're ready. I think San Francisco is a great place to hold APEC with our large Asian population.
As many as 30,000 visitors are expected, including 24 heads of state, 1,000 CEOs, and hundreds of foreign journalists. At bus shelters all over the city, digital signs announce that APEC is coming. The Global Trade Summit means big exposure and big bucks for SF.
I've heard the number of $50 million of direct economic impact to the city.
Clifton Clark is the area GM for Marriott Hotels and the GM of the St. Francis Hotel. He says Dreamforce, which brought 43,000 people to San Francisco, was an important stepping stone.
It was a great dress rehearsal for something like APEC.
The hotels Clark oversees are packed with guests and staff for APEC.
Many of the hotels have blocks with Secret Service, and a lot of the hotels have delegations too. We have groups of CEOs that will be staying with us.
Clark says his hotels have been doing a lot to get ready.
I've set up calls with our hotels on a weekly basis, starting next week, to discuss, the details of in-depth planning for security.
When it comes to the logistics for the global summit,
we're working with the Secret Service, the White House, and the State Department.
Expect thousands of extra officers, local, state, federal, arriving to help out.
We're going to be crawling with law enforcement.
As for concerns about San Francisco's homeless, drug use, and crime,
I think we demonstrated that just last week with Dreamforce. We know how to produce an amazing show here, definitely in Moscone Center and definitely within the city of San Francisco.
The mayor has a $10 million budget set aside to help pay for overtime for police and city employees. The city has a goal of raising $20 million additional dollars for APEC. It's raised more than $12 million so far, but the city's getting more help every day from private donors like Sutter Health. Some of that money will help host multiple events around the conference. The city of San Francisco is calling for 800 volunteers for APEC events. They'll be helping with credentialing, registering, and helping guests at the conference center. In San Francisco, Suzanne Fawn, ABC 7 News.